This was one of those typically Dur Cup ties where you felt Aldershot ought to have won comfortably, but were in fact pushed into extra time before they got on top and booked their ticket into the next round. Sylvan's had something to celebrate, with skipper Joel Avery becoming a dad earlier in the day, but this wasn't quite going to be their day, and the absence through injury of Grant Chalmers, their star striker, may have been the contributing factor. Aldershot were cheered on by 300 vociferous fans, but you can imagine Guernsey's joy when they went ahead in the 29th minute of the second half through a penalty, which Martin Gauvin slammed home. Sadly, Sylvans didn't have enough time to work on this lead, for within 3 minutes Aldershot equalised, after a pass from the hard-working Danny Holmes was put past goalkeeper Paul Ozanne and into the net by Mark Butler. And that's how it stayed until full-time. Aldershot went into the lead during the first period of extra time, and it came when a Holmes corner was nodded on by Tony Calvert, giving substitute Steve Stairs his chance. The goal was a stunner, but this game wasn't over yet by a long chalk. And then just before the break, Steve Stairs became a super sub when he headed home a Calvert cross to put Aldershot into a 3-1 lead. All the signs of a full amateur side up against a team of part-time pros were evident. Sylvans had given all, but the pace was telling. Even so, it was Sylvans who had the last laugh with the final kick of the ball, and how well they deserved it, if only to make the record books reflect a truer picture of this cold day at the track. The goal came when Aldershot keeper Mark Watson parried Lee Ranof's shot, and Paul Gallion was on hand to hit home a memorable second goal. Afterwards, Sylvan's manager Colin Renouf was realistic about his team's performance.
I thought we played very well. They were a good side, and the object of entering the Hampshire Cup was to play against good sides and get experience, and we certainly had that today. They battled really, really hard, both sides, and unfortunately the fitness in the end, I thought, told. We couldn't make the superior numbers after their sendings off tell, because most of us had run so hard in the normal time, we just couldn't make it tell.
Could we ever have got on top and won, do you think?
Possibly if we hadn't given their first goal away so quickly after we'd scored and tried to get a bit of possession and then gone on from there. But they got back so quickly, it was a job. Yeah.
It's a question you have to be asked, really, but might it have been a different story with Grant Chalmers?
It certainly could well have been. His experience at this level, he's played against people like this and better than this a lot of time, and certainly his experience told. I thought perhaps in the East Cows game, we could have done with him today. Having said that, everybody that came in, young Steve that came in, did really well.
Everyone played their part. Would you underline anyone in particular?
No. For an inexperienced goalkeeper, Ozzy did it exceptionally well, but I wouldn't pick anybody out now.
I would agree with Ozzy. I thought he played very well indeed. Yeah. Just finally, this is your first season in Hampshire Senior Cup football. Are you going to keep it up, going again?
We're hoping to. We'll think about it. We'd like, obviously, to be able to play it on our own pitch, and we're hoping to try and widen our pitch, because that's why we can't play there. But thanks again to the Amalgamated Committee, Bells and Rangers, and everybody who prepared the pitch today. There was a lot working on it this morning, I'm told, to get it ready to play. So thanks very much to those.
No one may have been particularly surprised when they saw this Hampshire Senior Cup result in their newspapers. But for Sylvans, it was a significant step in their quest to build a fit young team capable of beating any other club in the Channel Islands.